Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, your big dog, Asante Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro, record-breaking cornerback, and of course, the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. You know they're trying to go to 17, 18, 19, and eventually they probably be to 20 games, man. How y'all doing out there tonight, man? Monday Night Vibes, man. Hey, man, we have a lot to talk about, man. It's Super Bowl week, the last game of the season. We finally made it. And teams that are in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, y'all didn't expect to make it. You know what I mean? Let me bring on my co-host for tonight, man. How we doing out there tonight, man?
Yo.
In the building. We got a lot to talk about, man. What do you think about the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl? How do we feel out there, man? What's been going on this week, man? There's a lot of it's been a little dry this week, but we here to crank it up, man.
It's about to crank up, man. This is the week of the Super Bowl. It's going to crank up. A lot of media is going to be done down at Super Bowl week, so you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out this week. The closer we get to the Super Bowl, and that's why I got on my Super Bowl hat today, man. This is my last couple of days. Last couple of days, I can say who won the Super Bowl last. I can't use it no more after that.
Right. Straight up. No, all good. But yeah, man. Man, did anyone see Emmanuel Acho's respond to all this craziness going on? It's like he couldn't even talk about, the shit talking and things like that. He had to go into Oprah Winfrey called me. I wrote a book for this person. Oh, I did that for that person. Oh, the defensive coordinator for such and such called me. I'm a number one selling book. Man, that is so funny, man. Acho, man. Shout out to Steve, shout out to Shady, man. But game week, man, it is game week. The New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks, baby. Two teams made it to the playoffs that not too many people expected to be here. Not too many people. Probably only the Patriot fans and the Seattle Seahawks fans. Anybody that lives in New England and anybody that lives in Seattle. Those are the only people that believe these two teams can make it this far. I remember the New England Patriots got their butt whooped by the sorry Oakland or Las Vegas Raiders the beginning of the season.
Yep.
The game one. That was terrible, man. And now for them to be make it to the last game of the season, the Super Bowl, man. Clap it up for the New England Patriots, man. Win, lose, or draw, man. Y'all better give the New England Patriots some credit, man. Give them their respect.
And a lot of people
is due, baby.
And I don't like a lot of people not giving the Patriots credit. They trying to talk about how easy the schedule is, how easy their playoff run was. But it's football. You still got to play the game. You still got to win the game. And that's hard to do to make it to the Super Bowl. There's so many franchises that have got close to the Super Bowl. So for the people to say, it was too easy for them to make it to the Super Bowl, let me see a team make it to the Super Bowl. It ain't easy to do.
And then they want to continue to call us a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Bill Belichick is not even there anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, bro, what would they have to say if Mike Vrabel wins the Super Bowl with Josh McDaniels, the same offensive coordinator that Bill Belichick won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and now that he's not there with Tom Brady or Bill Belichick, he's doing it with the same offensive coordinator and Josh McDaniels. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. We have to see, man. Let the game finish and we'll talk about it because I have a lot of theories. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I feel about Bill Belichick and that Tom Brady relationship. And after Tom Brady left, we all seen, you know what I mean? But let's get into this game, man. I expect this game to be a very physical game on both offenses. You know what I mean? On both sides of the football. Especially on offense, though. I do not expect, and I guarantee you, no team will abandon the run. Both teams will try their best to establish that run over and over and over, even if they're gaining 1 yard a pop. That's how I see this game playing out. The majority of the football world believes the Seattle Seahawks will beat the brakes off the New England Patriots.
Man, that's all I'm hearing.
hey, I don't know what's going on, but hey, listen. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Listen, Sam Darnold is the favorite to win the Super Bowl MVP. And the winner of the Super Bowl MVP, the team is usually the winner of the game. Everyone expects the Seattle Seahawks to come out there and just whoop the New England Patriots butt and take care of business. Well, let's get into it. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold will hoist the Pete Rozelle Trophy at the Super Bowl. LX most valuable player on Sunday night. If the betting odds are believed or to be believed, you know what I mean? Darnold is a plus 120 favorite to win the Super Bowl MVP. On one hand, that's no surprise. He's a starting quarterback of the favorite team, and the quarterback for the winning team has been the MVP in 34 of the previous 59 Super Bowls. But it still represents a remarkable rise for Darnold. Yes, Darnold, man. Shout out to Darnold. He's doing his thing, right? He was dismissed as the draft bust with the Jets and benched by the Panthers. Was a backup on the 49ers and was only available to the Seahawks last offseason because the Vikings decided not to keep him around. For Darnold, now to be a Super Bowl MVP favorite is another step in a great career turnaround. Patriots quarterback Drake May is the next in the Super Bowl MVP betting odds at plus 235, followed by the Seahawks wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba at plus 550. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker at plus 550, and Patriots running back Ramondre Stevenson at plus 2,800. Man, I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to get very interesting. A lot of situational football is going to come into play. But I don't know, man. How do we feel out there about Sam Darnold being the MVP and the Seattle Seahawks being the favorite to win this game? What are your predictions? Does Patriots even have a chance to win this game? No one really believes that.
And that's what making me starting to believe it more because day one, once they found out who's going to Super Bowl, I was like, yeah, Seahawks got this easily. But the more and more as they get closer and closer, you be giving the Patriots a lot of ammo up there to get hyped up for this game for them to come out there and not lay down. And I don't believe they will. I think it's going to be a tight game. And it might be the Patriots. My decision has changed dramatically. You know what I mean? Drastically since day one, man. So, I mean, we still got a whole nother week to go. So it might change a little bit more. But right now, I'm kind of like signed with the Patriots a little bit, man. I feel like they're going to be motivated, hungry, because all this talk of how they not really supposed to be here, how they don't stand a chance, that's motivation right there. And it's a Super Bowl biggest game.
Man, they didn't give the New England Patriots a chance when they played against the Houston Texans. And Houston Texans had the number one defense. You know, they had all this hype behind them, how great they was, CJ Stroud and all this type of energy. And what happened? New England Patriots went out there and made them look like they didn't have the number one defense. Like they wasn't the number one defense on the football field that game. You know what I mean? So it could go both ways. But from what it's looking like, we'll see. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's shame on the Minnesota Vikings for thinking the grass was greener on the other side. Shame on the Vikings, man. Now the only thing that star receiver Justin Jefferson can do is ask himself, what if, over and over and over again? What if, man? What if Sam Darnold was still here? Would I be in the Super Bowl? Would the Minnesota Vikings be in the Super Bowl? And would I be having another career year? 1,800 plus yards, maybe 2,000. What if? That's the only thing he can ask himself. What if?
All right.
But, you know, the betting odds is Sam Darnold will be the favorite to win the MVP, but I'm not so sure. Because if Jackson Smith-Njigba have a great game, I think the NFL would love to lean towards giving him the MVP over Sam Darnold. Because Jackson Smith-Njigba is a bona fide superstar.
He definitely could get 12 catches, 158 yards easy. I mean, he did it multiple times this season.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I could see him in a perfect world, if the New England Patriots doesn't perform how I expect them to perform, I could see him going for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and having a great game, things like that. But I'm not falling for the hype. I don't believe the hype. If that did happen, I can see them handing over the MVP award to JSN. But like I said, I don't believe the hype because y'all don't understand. This is my teammate. I understand how he thinks. I know how smart he is, how intelligent he is, and how much he loves the game of football, right? How much he understood what Bill Belichick was doing as a head coach and a defensive coordinator, right? He was a coach on the football field when he was my teammate for the New England Patriots. He was probably he was the smartest person on defense who understood the ins and outs and the intricate details of what's supposed to go on the defense, as well as all the formations and things like that on the offense. So don't get it twisted. Mike Vrabel is definitely built for that, and he's a leader of men and going to understand and going to have his players ready to play. Mike Vrabel will have that defense ready to stop Kenneth Walker and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
For sure, man. I heard a reporter ask him today, is this a must win? What kind of question is that? Is this a must win?
I missed that? Did the reporter really ask him, is the must? What do you mean? Is this the freaking Super Bowl, the biggest game of all games?
He was like
the
biggest game
a must win sports of all sports. Is this a must win? This is absolutely, I will die to win this game. Like, what do you mean? In the moment, right. Quote unquote. Exactly. But in order for the Patriots to stop Jackson Smith and Jigba, I don't think it's a good idea for them to put Christian Gonzalez on him and think that is going to take care of the deal. I don't think Christian Gonzalez putting him one-on-one and thinking that handles that threat. No, don't do that. Instead, I think Mike Vrabel will use double coverage on Jackson Smith and Jigba and leave Gonzalez on the island with whoever the second best receiver is. That is a good game plan going forward. And I can see Mike Vrabel thought process and him thinking like that. You know what I mean? But all in all, it will be hard to stop JSN from gaining 100+ yards. But
actually,
if anyone can get it done, it's Mike Vrabel. Trust me. If anyone can get it done, it's Mike Vrabel.
Now you spoke about JSN possibly winning an MVP. We got a receiver on this team that won MVP in the Super Bowl before. I mean, he's a little bit older now, but he know the game. He know how to get open at his older age, man. And it's a Super Bowl, big time games, man. A lot of people with a little bit of experience, they could take advantage of the younger players, things like that with Cooper Kupp. So I feel like Cooper Kupp might have a big game when them getting double teamed on JSN, and maybe he can sting out there, get a nice little 60, 70, 90 yards between that. I don't know, man. He got experience.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp definitely is the X factor in this game. I think Mike Vrabel is going to have the defense prepared for every situation, and Cooper Kupp is one of those intermediate route runners who's tries to use the middle of the field, create mismatches, against linebackers and things like that. Mike Vrabel will be ready for all of these situations. Biggest game of his life, his career at this point. I think they're going to be 100% ready, sure. But it just seems like how soon or how did everybody all of a suddenly forget how the Patriots manhandled the Houston Texans? Houston Texans was supposed to have a better defense, a better running game, and just a better team overall. And we would, arguably, everyone would say DeMarco Ryan was a better coach than Mike Vrabel at that point. You got to play the game. You got to play the game.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
play the game.
People try to take credit for him, and they try to say, Stroud not that good once they make him turn the ball over. No, that was great defense. That was great game plan against him to make him make those turnovers. It wasn't just that Stroud not good.
Yeah. I mean, CJ Stroud definitely could have played a better game and gave the Texans a better chance to win the game. But, I expect that same type of energy in this game from the New England Patriots defense against the Seahawks. You know what I mean? But and if you're a Texans fan, you would look at CJ Stroud and say, he let us down. He didn't perform well. And he was the X factor in this game that potentially cost us a chance at winning this game. Yeah,
I think he's due for his contract.
Yeah,
I think that's a bad way to go out when it's time to negotiate.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, New England Patriots ran the ball well, or not well. They ran the ball better than the Texans in that game, and they also stopped the Texans running attack in that game. So, man, hey. But also, everyone has to understand on the New England Patriots defense, the threats. You have to recognize when Rashid Shaheed is in the game and expect a shot play when they see him out there. They cannot let Rashid Shaheed get any explosives by design on the defensive part from Mike Vrabel and Kerr, Zach Kerr, who's called him the defensive coordinator, while Terrence Williams is recovering. I'm hearing he'll be back for the Super Bowl. I don't know how much he will be there to call plays, but I hear he will be back. He's battling cancer. Salute to him. Prayers up and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? But Zach Kerr has to recognize when Rashid Shaheed is in the game, and for the defense, because it's important when you have someone so fast and you have all that speed out there. It's important for guys like myself who may not be as fast as Rashid Shaheed, for us to recognize and adjust and not let him get any explosive. You have to be prepared because you understand, you watch film, you study the Seahawks, and you understand the Seahawks are not trying to get him the football and make him the go-to receiver. Either he's getting quick screen passes or they are sending him down the football field to throw it deep, Yeah, but in short yardage, you have to do what you have to do. So short yardage, everyone has to man up, and then you have to stop Kenneth Walker, But on offense, Drake May, how do I expect Drake May to perform against the Seattle Seahawks in this game, right? The majority of the passes need to be plays that allow Drake May to get the ball out fast, right? He got to get the football out of his hands very quick because he won't have a lot of time to get the ball out of his hands. As we can see, that is the expectations. Maybe the Patriots will block much better than all of us expect. But all in all, Drake May has to get the football out of his hand. I do like Josh McDaniels to find the weak link and exploit the defense when it comes to Tyreek Woolen. I do expect Josh McDaniels to give Tyreek Woolen different looks and difficult routes to uncover, so he may bust the coverage and get an easy touchdown for Drake May and the New England Patriots. If you're the offensive coordinator and you've been watching film and you've seen Tyreek Woolen, you have to test him and see if he's focused. This is the last game of the season. Not too many people understand that this is the Super Bowl, how important this game is. I didn't understand my rookie year, as a young guy. And I think that will be a challenge for Tyreek Woolen to be focused in this game. And Josh McDaniels, they have to try him. They have to put him in those different looks and give him confusing formations to make him try to diagnose his coverage and figure out where he's supposed to be and hope he don't bust the coverage. He has to hope he don't bust the coverage. So I think that Josh McDaniels will definitely try to exploit the defense on that end with Tyreek Woolen. You've seen the things and how he's played. He's a great athlete. I think he's an exceptional corner. He just has to get a little more focused and understand his assignments and things like that. And that's what good coordinators do, man. You find the weak links, whether or not it's in coverage, or just the matchup,
Yeah. And they done it all playoffs. They played the top 5 defenses in all the games, all 3 games in the playoffs. So they went against the toughest of the tough defenses, and they came out and prevailed. So this is just another test for them, and they got experience all playoffs where people kept saying, "Oh, the Houston is the best defense." No. They said the Chargers was the best defense. Then the Broncos, it turned into a snowfest, but they end up putting up enough points to win the game. And that's all that matters. So they went against the top defenses, and Broncos led the league in sacks, and they able to get away with that win. So listen, it's just another defense to them, man. Just another defense to them at this point.
Yeah, man. I don't expect any receiver for the New England Patriots to have over 100 yards receiving. I don't expect, the New England Patriots offense isn't really built like that. They don't have those number one receivers, number one threats who's out there to gain 100. Yes, they can gain over 100 yards. They have 100 yards receiving, but the offense isn't built like that. I see Drake May spreading the football to all of his receivers, all of his threats, the running back, the tight end, the receivers, the slot receivers, and the whole arsenal, his whole arsenal. You know what I mean? Not just because this is how the offense is built. When Drake May identifies the coverage and he finds his best option, he has to get that football out of his hand. It's a must. He has to get that football out of his hand. So that is the reason Drake May will won't have a 100-yard receiver in this game because he has to spread the football around. You know what I mean? Drake May will have to get that football out of his hands. That is a must in this game. That has to be a emphasis in practice all week. You know, blocking on the opposite side of the ball, maintaining those blocks for as long as possible so Drake May can have much time as possible, man. But we'll see. We'll see.
I got another thing for you too.
What's that?
It's a lock right now. If y'all gambling on this game, I got a lock for y'all right now. Drake May over 25 rushing yards. He gonna use them legs as well, get out of situations and be able to extend drives using his legs. Don't forget that part too, man. I got him doing that as well.
That's a good bet right there. That's a good bet. Drake May has over 25 yards rushing. But let me tell you, from the looks of it, and the talk and the hype, like we did about the Houston Texans, the way that defense comes, man, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. But like I said, it's just hype. You know, maybe the game starts off tough in the first half, 3-0, 7-3. Everybody's playing defense, you know, great on both sides of the football. And then who's in shape? Who's prepared to go 60 minutes, 4 hours in this game? Because that's where the New England Patriots beat the Houston Texans in the second half, you know. Mm-hmm. But predictions, baby. Predictions. What do you got, man? Who you think, man? What is your predictions over there, Dries? What are you talking? I know you are one of those believers out there. You believe the Seattle Seahawks defense and everything they are feeding us. What are your predictions over there, Dries?
As of today, Monday, it might change by the time Sunday comes, but as of today, Monday, I got the Seahawks winning this game. I like the Patriots so much, so I'm gonna be cheering for them. But in my heart, back in my mind, I just think the Seahawks will pull us off. And I'm so surprised because I've been like talking bad about Sam Darnold all season, like he can't handle big games, but he proved me wrong over and over again this season. So I want to be wrong again. I might want to be right this time and go ahead and ride with Sam Darnold for the first time this season.
All right, so you hear 2-3 Dries. He got the Seattle Seahawks. So after the game on Sunday, right? Is it Sunday or Monday?
Sunday.
It's Sunday. You could beat them up. You could beat them up Sunday or Monday whenever we get on if we're not at a Super Bowl party. But that is Dries' pick. That has nothing to do with Deuce pick 6. And for Deuce pick 6, my prediction is the New England Patriots finds a way to beat the Seattle Seahawks. 31-24. Let's go New England Patriots. Drake May, not Sam Darnold, will be the MVP. Ooh. You see Sam Darnold, you see Drake May right there holding that trophy in his hand. Yes, beautiful. It looks like it belongs. This will be the score or close to the score in this game. But this will be the final. New England Patriots will be winning this game, baby.
Yeah,
if you're a betting man, if y'all want to make some money out there, y'all need to go ahead and put them bets on the New England Patriots. They are the underdog. Go ahead and get a quick come up.
Yeah, listen, I want the game to come down to a 1-yard play like the last time they played the Super Bowl.
Oh man, against the Rams, man. Oh man, that was awful.
And see what the decision gonna be made when they pass the ball, when they run it. That's how the game is decided. That would be great. That'd be a great way to end the season.
A lot of anxiety to have to deal with, brother. Oh man, that play right there. You have that feeling like when the Rams lost that game against was it the Patriots or the Tennessee Titans?
No, when the Seahawks played the Patriots last time, and they didn't get a ball.
The Seahawks. Oh, you talking?
Yeah, when they didn't get a ball to Marshawn Lynch, they passed it.
Oh man, no, nothing is like it. I don't see a quarterback checking off to the running back. Checking out from a run play to a pass play just because of his ego. I don't see too many other quarterbacks
to come down to that.
But yeah, that definitely will be exciting. It'd be heartbreaking for a lot of people too, man. You got to think of it both ways, boy. That'd be heartbreaking, man. Seattle Seahawks fans was heartbroken. They couldn't believe the game was over when that interception. Like, wait, what just happened? It happened so fast. There's nothing you could do. You didn't see no penalties. It's like.
I was like before that play happened, I was in the house I was at a Super Bowl party with a bunch of people, and I was the only one that had the Patriots. I was like, damn, I'm gonna owe all these people money, man. I was trying to find my way out. I
That's how everybody
That
felt.
play happened. Put my hand out. Yeah.
They made sure no penalties, and all that good stuff, right? Yeah, no, all good. But yeah, man, next topic of the night, man, as we talked about previously, man, Justin Jefferson, man. Justin Jefferson, he finally speaks out. And Justin Jefferson says, I definitely feel like we would have done better with Sam Darnold. Justin Jefferson is heartbroken watching his boy go to the Super Bowl and it's not his team. Shame on the Minnesota Vikings. Everyone knows the difficulty of playing the quarterback position this year. How we were dealt it, Jefferson said. But having a quarterback that already had a season under his belt with us, knew the plays, knew the playbook, knew the players, throwing to me, Jordan Edison, TJ Hawkinson, all these guys, I definitely feel like we would have done better. But it is what it is. It's on to newer and better things. But I'm definitely happy and proud of him that he's able to reach it this year. Jefferson said he has mixed emotions seeing Darnold's success. It's definitely tough. It's tough to watch, Jefferson said. I love that he's in the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I want nothing but the best for him, especially the way his journey was at first. People doubting him and people not giving him the respect. Now they're giving him the respect. Now they're seeing that he's a top-tier quarterback in this league. Of course, selfishly, I wish he had done that for us last year. But to see him blossom and bounce back right after last year and make it this year, I'm happy for him. And I hope he wins. I'm rooting for Seattle, and I think Seattle's going to win. I'm rooting for him. Listen, man, that's a lot of hurt. And what if? What if? In Justin Jefferson's voice, man, it's a tough deal, man. As you can see, that situation, and it's only right that someone loses their job and someone is fired after letting a quarterback go and he goes to another team and win a Super Bowl. That has to be the biggest slap in the face you can ever possibly do as an organization. Mm-hmm. And look up the general manager name for the Minnesota Vikings real quick for me. Brother too, man. They was just speaking about him and saying he went on a 2-week maternal leave, and you don't know what to believe anything in these days anymore. They said he didn't really he wasn't into it when it was time to negotiate his contract. He wasn't getting back to him fast enough. At the end of the day, Sam Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. He was just on our team. We elected not to re-sign him and let him walk and bring in a shorter, unachieved, not as athletic, not strong of an arm quarterback.
Whoa. He got fired.
Yes, you didn't know that? What's his name?
Kesway Adolfo-Mensah.
Yeah, Kesway Adolfo. I don't know what they call him, but the brother, the Minnesota Vikings, for the GM from the Minnesota Vikings. If you didn't understand that, you didn't know. If you was under a rock, but he is fired.
Yeah.
So things are shaking up in Minnesota because it's only right. It's only right. You can't do this in football. When it's time to trade a player, they have coaches and general managers have specific teams and specific instructions when it's time to trade a player. They don't want to trade a player in the same conference. They don't want to trade a player in the same division. They are really reluctant to trade a player to a team that is good because they don't want to make a team better. That's not your job as a general manager in the NFL. But that decision not to resign Sam Darnold will hunt the Vikings for a while because Seattle will be good and they will be a good team for years to come under this new leadership. Seattle is getting better from the first season under Mike McDonald to the second season. They started off 10-7, and this year, they ended the season 14-3 or something like that. And has anyone thought about this? Who was Seattle Seahawks quarterback last season? Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle probably would have won the Super Bowl or been in the Super Bowl last season if Sam Darnold was there and not Geno Smith. Geno Smith went 10-7 last season under Mike McDonald at quarter, and when he was at quarterback. Just imagine if Sam Darnold was there last season. We can guarantee he would have played much, much better than Geno Smith did last season. And shoot, it's definitely a good possibility.
Is Sam Darnold in his prime right now? Is he going up from here? How long does this good play from Sam Darnold continue?
That is a great question. I think he's right there. Yes, he's in his prime. He's still young enough to get it done. He still has the fast twitch muscles, the arm strength, the agility and things like that. Just the know-how to get it done. But I can see his success being a short time lived. I can see him not being so successful for the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think another 2 to 3 years, Sam Darnold, I don't know, he goes back into that shell who he once was when he first came out in the NFL. But something has clicked into him, since he was there last season for the Minnesota Vikings compared to when he was drafted to the Jets and all these other teams that he was at. You know what I mean? So I think that's a great question, and that's going to be something we have to wait and see. But they're going to invest a lot of money into him. They're going to lock him up, give him a big contract, and that can possibly go to his head. But I don't see him being that type of player. So I think he'll have another 3 to 4 years playing elite football, and then you'll see Sam Darnold start to backtrack, go down a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They'll be a playoff team for the next few years.
Yeah,
with Sam Darnold at the helm.
Yeah, for sure. With Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker, man, the team is stacked. Man, the team is built. They have a great offensive line, a great defensive line, and everything comes together very well for the Seattle Seahawks. Just Sam Darnold, he has to continue to elevate that team, and that's the only thing that needs to happen for them to win. You know what I mean? But Justin Jefferson, let me tell you, man, the glory days for Justin Jefferson are over. I know if you're a Justin Jefferson fan and, guys like Randy Moss saying he's the best in the league, those glory days are over. Justin Jefferson will never get back to the days where he had 1,500 yards receiving, 1,800 yards. Unfortunately, Justin Jefferson's career will go down from here. He either will be released or traded by 2028 when his contract expires. Mark my word, Justin Jefferson will either be released or traded by 2028. And it's not because of his abilities diminishing or anything like that, but because of the decision to make J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback instead of Sam McDonald. See, it's a trickle-down effect when you make such a horrible decision like the Minnesota Vikings did with J.J. McCarthy. It's a horrible decision, and it's a trickle-down effect. They have to deal with J.J. McCarthy for 2 to 3 more years because he's a first-round pick, and that is going to substantially hurt this team as well as Justin Jefferson. I don't think Justin Jefferson's future in Minnesota will be terrible or terribly bad or anything like that. I just think Justin Jefferson will end up being very average.
I think what makes it worse is the success of Sam Darnold, and he was there before. Like, I feel like if Sam Darnold went over to Seahawks and had a terrible season, they nowhere near the playoffs, it wouldn't affect Justin Jefferson as much. But for him, this person to be in the Super Bowl is like, it's frustrating. And then having a frustrating season, he probably played with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks this year, and it was just a whole mess. And it's going to keep on getting more and more frustrating. So it's like, man, I'm done with this organization. I want to get out of here. So you might be 100% right there.
Yeah, and you got to realize some players just play the game. Some people or some players out there to collect the check. Some players just love to be a part of an organization or a brotherhood, something like that, right? Then you have the guys that love to win, the guys that want to win as bad as anything in the world. And that can possibly be a Justin Jefferson. And for him, like when I played Rodney Harrison, I mean, he wanted to win as bad as anyone. Tom Brady, of course, he wanted to win as much as anyone I've ever been around. You know what I mean? But if Justin Jefferson is that type of player and he's dealing with those mental thoughts, that is really going to affect him on the field, off the field, and all around. If he really is bothered about this possibly not being him in the Super Bowl, or him not being in the Super Bowl because of Sam Darnold not being on this team, this can really drag him down mentally. And like I said, all of these factor in of players declining while they're in their prime. It's just because it's habits, it's nature, it's life. People go through things, life be lifing, And like I said, he's going to be very average. He may reach 1,000 yards again. He may have 1,000 yards a season, but that's not enticing to a guy like Justin Jefferson, who's used to having 1,500, 18 yards receiving, plus 17 regular season games is coming into play. I mean, you're playing 17 regular season games. Now it's headed to 18 regular season games. So just getting over 1,000 yards, that's not enticing anymore. At least 1,200. 1,200 is the new 1,000-yard receivers in the NFL. That, it ain't 1,000 yards anymore. You have to get 1,200 to get some credit and get some shine and get some hype. Talk to me.
No, yeah, I remember this year they was like forcing him the ball in the last game so he could get over 1,000 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He almost didn't get it, honestly.
He barely got 1,000 yards this season, and he played all of 17 games this season. Imagine that. Justin Jefferson had 1,048 yards this season, was healthy pretty much all of the season, and played 17 games and only got 1,000 yards. That's why I'm saying Justin Jefferson's career is going downhill from here. There is no fix. There is no solution. We made a bad decision that we have to live with, unless the owner, the general manager, someone comes out and say, we can make a change. But that ain't how it goes in the NFL for first round picks. They get a minimum of 2.5, 3 years to see what they can do, Yeah. So Justin Jefferson has to bite the bullet on this one, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. But I wonder too, man. They drafted Jordan Addison a couple years ago, got Justin Jefferson in 2020. Will they also draft another wide receiver in the first round and try to replace Justin Jefferson with this receiver? I just don't think it's going to work out. Frustration, Justin Jefferson is going to be frustrated, and cooler heads will not prevail in this situation. Something's going to have to give. Something's going to have to give, man. But that's the Minnesota Vikings. That's the preview of the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold, New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. And y'all heard that. Y'all heard me loud and clear. The New England Patriots will win this game. And now we have to get to a Hall of Famer that everyone can really say is a Hall of Famer. We see him as a Hall of Famer, but he isn't in the Hall of Fame. So technically, he's not a Hall of Famer yet. And who would this guy be, man? Who would this guy be, man? Who would this guy be? Eli Manning. The good brother, Eli Manning, isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. So we can't call a Hall of Famer. Can you believe that? Can anyone believe one of the Manning brothers is not in the Hall of Fame? All this power, all this influence this family has. And the 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Eli Manning, is not in the Super Bowl. I mean, not in the Hall of Fame. Man, after 2 rounds. He had 2 rounds. After 2 rounds of being eligible for the Hall of Fame, Eli Manning, they still won't select him. What is it? What has Eli Manning not done to be selected in the Hall of Fame? What has he not done? Why are these voters not putting Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame? He is a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's one more than some of these Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and 2 more than one Hall of Fame quarterback right off the rip that I could think of. But let's get into it. Eli Manning got omitted from the Pro Football Hall of Fame again. Inside the most complex Hall of Fame case ever. Eli Manning. The most complex Hall of Fame case ever. Eli Manning will have to wait at least one more year. The 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He's not just a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Reportedly did not receive enough votes for election into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his second year of eligibility. His snub last year did not come as a complete surprise. After all, he had a 500 record in his career and rarely was near the top of the annual passing leaderboards. On the other hand, his 2 Super Bowl MVPs with game-winning drives over the Patriots and Tom Brady are the stuff of legend and something you figure Canton can't live without. It's what makes up one of the most complex Hall of Fame cases ever. They got my boy Eli Manning cased up in one of the most complex Hall of Fame cases ever. Man.
I didn't know he had a 500 record. That's probably the reason why. His overall record.
2 Super Bowls. Does it matter what you do in the regular season if you win the Super Bowl?
And he won.
It doesn't matter if I have a 400 record. You know, if I'm under 500. If I'm winning the Super Bowl, I'm the quarterback. That's my job. I can have a terrible first half of the season, but as long as I do what I need to do when it's time to do it, and that's in January and February, I should be rewarded as a top-tier, top-dog quarterback. I don't understand. Yes, you can say what you want about Eli. Yes, he may not have been the prototypical type of quarterback. He may not did anything too special. You know what I mean? But all in all, besides coaching, or besides coaches, quarterback is the hardest position to make it into the Hall of Fame. Not only do they have to win Super Bowls as we speak and about, but quarterbacks, like we read about in an article, they must also be top tier when it comes to the stats, passing yards, completion percentage, touchdowns, interception ratios, and things like that. So quarterback, man, it's very hard to get in there as a quarterback.
Man, he will be there. He will be there for sure. I just think things are going to take some time. It might not be next year or the year after that, but he's going to be there for sure when it's all said and done.
But why is it taking so long? I'm actually surprised the NFL is playing with the Manning family like this.
Yeah. The name itself hold too much weight. I'm kind of surprised.
The NFL is playing with the Manning family like this, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. We're talking about, as we just read in the article, the NFL, the Hall of Fame would love to have Eli Manning in there after that drive he did against Tom Brady, who's not even, you can't even flinch about him being a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Eli Manning and Peyton Manning being in the Hall of Fame. How can the Hall of Fame live without that? You understand? Of course, eventually he will be there. We all can recognize that. But Jesus, you're telling other quarterbacks in the NFL or future star quarterbacks that winning 2 Super Bowls just isn't enough. I mean, that's the prize of the prize.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Drew Brees. Look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees, he hasn't made it in yet, and he only has 1 Super Bowl. He's a 1-time Super Bowl champion. So at least they hasn't put Drew Brees in there yet. But coming up, man,
I honestly think Drew Brees would make it before Eli Manning. And Drew Brees only got 1 Super Bowl. Eli Manning got 2, but Drew Brees had some records. I mean, they got broke by now because there's more games. But he always at the top with touchdowns and had records and things like that, which is like they mentioned in the article where Eli Manning has never been in the top in passing yards and things like that. So I think Drew Brees actually might get the nod before. They might go the same time, honestly. They probably go the same year if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough, man. That's tough. Hey, you have people having a lot to say, man. They put Drew Brees in there before Eli Manning. Now, we're not arguing. I don't argue or disagree with anyone. Yes, Drew Brees was a better quarterback than Eli Manning, but when it came down to winning the big game and showing up for your team in January, February, in key moments and situations, Eli Manning, he showed up and he delivered. You know, you have to
For
give
sure.
that to Eli Manning over Drew Brees. But they have to hurry up and do something because that quarterback Hall of Fame, possibilities is going to start to get real crowded. You have so many players coming up that were superstars, elite in the NFL, and also won Super Bowls that they are going to have to consider putting in the Hall of Fame. And Eli Manning, the two-time Super Bowl champion, he's going to be sitting back waiting, man. And I don't know how the Manning family is letting this happen in the NFL. All the power and influence they have. I don't know how they getting away with it, man. I don't know, man. But
I
we'll
think we're gonna see some. I think we're gonna see a lot of changes in the Hall of Fame voting because they already announced how people will get removed from voting and things like that. So I feel like, and a lot of people's like
that would
confused
be
as
some
well.
changes.
So they're gonna come up with something like
how
a different system.
How many quarterbacks were you able to find? How many quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that have 2 Super Bowls, or how many quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that only have one? Because I could name one that doesn't have none. Does anyone in the chat, y'all talk me out the world, if y'all know a quarterback in the Hall of Fame as we speak and doesn't have a Super Bowl?
You got. I already know who you gonna say.
Y'all, don't spill the beans. I talk about this quarterback a lot. I give him a little riff-raff sometimes, but he definitely was elite in his time. You know what I mean? But what you got? What you come up with?
We got. Don't say who you gonna say.
Sorry, don't say who I'm gonna say. I want to see the chat can figure it out, man.
You got Jim Kelly. He went in the Hall of Fame in 2002. You got Warren Moon. He went in 2006.
How many Super Bowls Jim Kelly got? Does he have one?
Zero.
Yes, Buffalo. They went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and
never
won. That's the problem Bill Polian has with Bill Belichick. But continue.
Yeah, Warren Moon. He had zero Super Bowls.
And
then we got Frank Tarkenton in 1986. He got inducted with zero Super Bowls. Dan Fouts, 1993. And let's go to one Super Bowl. You got Joe Namath. He got 1 Super Bowl. He's in there.
Joe Namath.
Frank, Len Dawson. Kenny Stabler got 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brett Favre, Kurt Warner.
All of those quarterbacks got 1 Super Bowl. Eli Manning got 2. He took down the undefeated team, man. I think they giving Eli Manning too much slack than he really deserves, man. You could call him what you want during the regular season. Yes, he has some ups and downs, but man, he has more Super Bowls than a lot of those players out there. And the one player I'm talking about that doesn't have a Super Bowl that is in the Hall of Fame is, Dan Marino. Miami Dolphins own Dan Marino. But yeah, man, how we doing out there, chat? So they're going to stop. They say they're going to stop Arch from going to the NFL that Eli doesn't get in the Hall of Fame, right? Let me tell you, man, that Manning family power is something serious, man. They're going to figure out a way to get some leverage and do something, man.
And they're so involved with the NFL, so that makes it even more surprising because they're so involved with the NFL, like as a family. So.
Absolutely. And then what they did with Eli Manning in the draft when he was drafted, knowing he was going to go to San Diego Chargers, held him back and made the NFL, the San Diego Chargers, trade him to the New York Giants and wins 2 Super Bowls. Man, that's just an amazing story in itself, right? Like that whole process, and for the dad or whoever it was to guide his son's career like he did, and it ended up being a success the way it panned out to be, man. That is a great story right there, and it's definitely Hall of Fame deserving. We don't know when these Hall of Famers were selected, the Warren Moons, the Kurt Warners, and things like that. If they were first ballot, second ballot, of course we could look it up, but we don't have time for that. But like we say, eventually Eli Manning would beat us. Salute to the Manning brothers. Had a lot of battles with these boys. with them boys. Let me see. Counting the playoffs and the regular season, I probably got the Manning brothers probably about 7 to 10 times. Yeah. How many people intercepted the Manning brothers more than your boy Zont, man? Pick 6, man. I probably got them 7 to 10 times. Only like 1 touchdown. I don't think I ran a touchdown back against Eli Manning. I don't know, Eli Manning, if you're out there, talk to me, man. Y'all let me know how many interceptions. You know, this is some good homework for y'all out there in the world and chat, right? So next time we get on here Thursday, y'all tell me how many interceptions I have totally against the Manning brothers, including the playoffs, and we want to see how many times they threw touchdowns on me, including the playoffs. I could think of one with the Peyton Manning, you know, when I was in New England with Marvin Harrison, you know, but there's a couple more. I can think of 3. 3 of them came to mind real quick.
I got something for you. I'm gonna come up with a list with like 10 quarterbacks one day and ask you if you intercepted them or not to see if you remember.
Oh man, I remember all my interceptions. Yeah, that's a good one too, man. That's a good one too, man. So yeah, man, we got some things coming up, man. We going up, man. Shout out to the chat, man. We are rocking and rolling, man. And yeah, man, Super Bowl is here. Everyone is so surprised and wondering why all of a sudden Asante Samuel is supporting the Patriots. Where is he coming from? Why is he acting like this? He never liked the Patriots. He dogged the Patriots out. Y'all understand it. Y'all know it was a competition. It was all about competition for me, you know, and I wanted to see what Belichick can do without Tom Brady. It wasn't no beef and all that. I didn't dislike the Patriots. Yeah, I didn't like the way Belichick handled his players and treated his players and things like that. But now this is my teammate. This is my teammate. This is a brother. This is somebody I went to war with. You know, all of us that played with Mike Vrabel, we come together. We support Mike Vrabel. So yes, not only was this my team I was born into, this is also my ex-teammate being the coach of this team. So yes, let's go Pats, baby. This is my team. I'm always going to be a Patriot, despite the shit I talk, you know, despite the noise I may make, you know what I mean? And y'all see I took up for Drake May when Cam Newton was coming for him, man. I had to calm that noise down, you know what I mean? Drake May, the 3-star quarterback to the Super Bowl, baby. This is Say What Needs to Be Said. It's your boy Asante, Mr. Pick 6 Samuel.
And it's your boy 2-3 Trees.
And we're going to see y'all next time. We appreciate it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all hype this up, man. And, hey, we need 1,000 likes on this live. And if the Patriots win the Super Bowl 21, 31, 24, like I said, y'all need to get this to 2,000 likes, man. But we're going to see y'all next time, man. It was fun tonight, man. And we are